Hi ho, it's Dr. Palermo with a message for EDCI 706, the Goldsboro cohort. Ladies, I hope that you're well. It's a couple of weeks since the CILD conference, and I hope you've had either a little vacation or downtime, some R&R. It's time to gear up and start thinking about our fall course. Not quite as hurried, not quite as fast-paced as summer in 704. We will have time to reflect a little bit as well as to write. And yes, you do need to continue on your dissertation work. The focus for 706 in the fall is implementing change, Hall and Hoard, and as well as some work in PLCs, and you're going to be continuing your artifact work and stuff. But since y'all voted to start on August 27th and 28th, that's just 1 week away from this recording, and that is prior to the official start of class on August 29th. But I want to make sure that that's a productive time together. I'm still tweaking the dates and the way we will approach some of the discussions and some of the structure of 706 as Dr. Brown has designed it and set it up. You will have some input on that, and look over the course and bring your thoughts about that next weekend. Next weekend on the 27th and 28th, we will spend some time reviewing some of those introductory videos, especially the evidence videos that Dr. Brown has sent, so that we can review and discuss them together. There are three specific things that I would like you to do to prepare for next weekend. I've closed a couple of the discussions, and I don't want this to be labor intensive, but if you can do these few things, will make, again, a more productive weekend next weekend. The first is to simply get a hold of the Hall and Hoard text and read chapter 1. We will spend some time on those introductory concepts. CBAM, the concerns-based adoption model, should become, well, it's going to be very important, and we will look at a lot of what we're doing and the program through the lens of CBAM, and so wrap your head around that just a little bit. So get the book, read chapter 1, and start to think about how change has occurred at your school. I know some of you are switching jobs and stuff, but in terms of the one school that you studied for your CNA, whether you're still there or not, think about some changes that have occurred there. When I talk about changes, probably pretty big school-wide kinds of changes, implementing a school-wide writing program where there has not been one in the past, introducing a new walkthrough tool. Maybe it's been sent down to you from the central office, and you're to train folks and start using that for evaluations or to examine data. Switching to a new curriculum. When we switched to Common Core, or at my middle school, a real big switch we made a couple of times was just changing the math curriculum. So if you've had a similar kind of change at your school, examine it and think about it in terms of the principles and ideas of CBAM introduced in the first chapter. We're going to be looking again at that stuff in greater detail as the semester goes on, but think about a change effort and bring one change effort. Think about it and just bring that thought to class. We'll explore it in depth on the 27th and 28th. And start thinking about your FCEP, the Family Community Engagement Project, and that should arise from a need that was perhaps cited in your CNA-A. That is, what was one area that might have popped up, a need in your CNA about family and community involvement in the school. Look at the PTA guidelines if you're thinking about standards of family involvement, but it's the philosophy that it takes a village, and is there a village involved in your school now? And if they're not, what might be one way to increase that community or parent involvement in the school? Might be as simple as setting up a PTA where there has not been one, or as involved as digging into parent volunteer programs and improving them. But that's going to be your FCEP, and so start thinking about that. Okay, in the week 1 content, it says get your book, start to read it, look at videos. Don't worry about that stuff till you get there. If you want to catch us up, we will do some of that stuff, but you can wait and post these things at the end of the weekend as well. I have closed the participation. Um, well, do not do any writing in the discussions at this point, please. Wait until the weekend, and then we are going to apply many of these ideas. So if we're writing and loading these as discussions, it'll be after weekend one. So again, I hope you had a little bit of a break, enjoyed a little time off, start gearing up for the fall semester, primarily by making sure you have a copy of Hall and Hoard. If you want to bring those other books, we'll review them at the weekend, but this is the one that you need for weekend one. And I look forward to seeing you again in Goldsboro. I enjoyed our time there, and we will have 3 more weekends: August 27 and 28, October 1 and 2, and November 19 and 20, spreading the work out pretty nicely over the semester, I think. So I'll talk to you again soon. See you in Goldsboro.